Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, September the 27th, 2024. Friday, September the 7th. I'm gonna start off with tomorrow night. I am going live streaming on YouTube. So if you want to receive a notification that the live stream is happening, YouTube will send you a notification, but you must subscribe. So if you're not a subscriber right now, please subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can receive the notification and you can chime in and chat. For those of you that want to be on my panel, you have reached out to me. I've only received an email from one of you. So I'm put a shout out, calling Anita, calling Lucy, calling Denzel, calling Caleb. Go back to um I did this on Tuesday where you see this particular thumbnail with the information. I replied to you telling you what I needed you to do by tonight, and it hasn't been done. So I will give you till tomorrow morning if you want to be on Zoom with me. Okay, let's dive right into what happened. We had some action, absolutely. Remember, I said I thought Jason heard people coming when he reached in and kissed Anna. That's exactly, they did a replay. That's exactly what happened. And I think he wanted the guards to come in to, interrupt their kiss. So it worked. And, they're taking Jason and then another guard taking Anna. And of course, they try to fight their way out of it. But uh, Jason being handcuffed can only do so much. And Anna could only fight one. So needless to say, they don't quite make that escape and they get taken downstairs to be executed. Meanwhile, we've got Lucky and Holly. Now Holly got Sidwell's gun and she said, Lucky, can they replay this scene? Can you get free? And he goes, I'm way ahead of you, and Lucky's free. But when she looks at Lucky, that's when Sidwell knocks the gun out of Holly's hand, and then there's a big fight, and um Lucky ends up with the gun, but Sidwell has a knife to Holly's side. And he said, unless you want English to bleed, you're gonna put the gun down. And Holly's looking at Lucky, and Lucky's looking at Holly, and Lucky's like, oh. So he's slowly tilting the gun to put it down. And I think he gives Holly a cue word or he beckons her. And she crunches on Sidwell's foot with her heel. And he's like, oh. So that gives her an opportunity to get away. I mean, to get away from Sidwell. And then Lucky charges Sidwell and they're fighting. And who Lucky ends up knocking Sidwell out, right? And no. Sidwell's choking Lucky, choking the life out of Lucky. And I'm wondering, okay, the gun hit the ground. Why isn't Holly picking up that gun and shooting Sidwell or hitting him on the back of the head with the gun? I didn't understand why Holly did nothing. Well, now the WSB, see, Brennan, he did pull strings. He did. He did what he was not supposed to do for his Carly. Okay. He intervened. He called a drone team out there to bomb that warehouse. And one of his fellow agents who's under him, below him in rank, was saying, now, you're not authorized to do this. And you can get in a lot of trouble. And so could I. And he ended up telling her, well, you know what? No, yes, I could get in a lot of trouble, but I'm going to let them know you were dead against it. So you'll be fine. So anyway, just as they were going to execute Anna and Jason, the drone drops a little bomb and it momentarily knocks out everybody as far as Anna, Jason, and the two guys that were going to execute them. But Anna and Jason, they're coming too, but they're still laying there. The two guards, mercenaries, come to, they grab their guns and they're like, let's get out of here because they don't know who else is going to drop another bomb on them or who's responsible for this, right? So once they leave, one of the guys is killed. One of the of Sidwell's men is killed laying there. So Anna and Jason get up. Jason gets his gun and Anna looks for the handcuffs. So Anna finds the handcuffs. She opens Jason's handcuffs. I mean, the key, handcuff key, opens Jason's handcuffs. He opens hers. And then the guy had two guns. Jason gives the guy, Anna, the guy's other gun. So now they're going back in to get Lucky and Holly. And this is when they burst in. Sidwell is choking Lucky. And Jason hits Sidwell on the back of the head and it knocks him out. So Lucky gets up and Jason and Anna are like, we gotta go. And he goes, where's Holly? They're like, we don't know. He goes, well, we can't leave Holly. They're like, hey, this building's about to come down. We need to get out of here. See, they didn't know if there were, and the building's kind of shaky, from the bomb blast, but the building never really came down. But they are still like, she's on her own. They're running out, right? So they get outside and they're like, okay, now what do we do? Where to? And Lucky's like, anybody got a plan? So all of a sudden you heard this beep beep, and this Jeep is backing up. Well, it's Holly. She stole a Jeep and she came back. They all jumped in and she's like, where to? And they're like, to the airfield, to the airfield. Right now, Brennan had arranged for a private plane, a jet, to fly them out of there, right? So they're on this plane. I mean, Anna had a feeling with the drone and everything that it was the WSB and Brennan helping them, right? So they're on the plane and they're on their way home, and Lucky is asking, okay, tell me about Lulu. So Anna's briefing him on Lulu's condition and the whole 9 yards. Well, Sonny and Carly were having their show of public affection date, right? And boy, did it look everything but public affectiony, right? They had oysters sent there. Sonny had flowers. There was champagne, but Carly's face was really like, oh my God, really? Oysters? Okay. Yeah. And she's worried. She's looking at her phone. She goes, I was hoping Jack would have called me. Brennan would have called me with word from Jason and Anna. She goes, I'm very worried. So she's sitting there and she's checking her phone. And Sonny goes, well, look, you're out here now. We need to make the best of it. And she goes, this is why, Sonny, I was planning on being home with my face glued to my phone for waiting for word. But I'm out. So look, she goes, look, I'm sorry. We're going to have to do this another night because I can't. But before she says this and gets up, Natalia and Lucy come in. And they're looking, Lucy's like, well, what do we have over there? Right? And Natalia looks, she's like, And so they go take a table, and Lucy's kind of filling Natalia in about Sonny and Carly's back and forth, right? She says, but when Sonny went to Nixon Falls, and about that time, Sonny's standing right behind Natalia because Carly was so worried. She goes, we gonna have to do this another time. And he goes, Carly, go do what you gotta do. So she gets up, but before she realized, okay, but I still gotta put on a show because we had Martin Gray was there at the bar. He walked in and he saw Sonny and Carly, and he was checking out Carly because remember, him and Alexis have decided, no, him and Molly, that he needs to be questioning Carly. So Carly bent down and she's whispering in Sonny's ear, trying to make it look, more intimate. And Sonny's just listening to her like, okay. Like, yeah, I'll meet you up there in 202 soon. Go ahead, girl, get that room. Right? So Soon as she left, he headed straight over for Natalia, which, come on, Sonny. Sonny. Now, Diane and Robert were having lunch on dinner on the terrace. They really don't show those two together very much until Holly's about to drop into GH, right? So anyway, um, Diane is getting ready. She tells Robert, "You hold that thought. I need to go powder my nose or freshen up." She sees Sonny and Natalia. And she walks over to him and she goes, "Sonny, can I have a word with you?" And he goes, "Well, actually, I'm here." She goes, "A word." And he's like, "Okay." So they go to that outer area where they got a sitting room. It's like a hallway where there's still like a coffee table, and where people talk private business is shitting out there. And she let him have it, like she let Carly have it. She said, "I had to say the same thing to Carly. What are you doing?" And he goes, "Carly and we were out to dinner, but she had something she had to do." She says, "And you let her go?" She goes, "Carly's gonna do what Carly wanna do. I can't stop her, but we were out." She goes, "You know what? This is not a game. This is not a joke. You both have to do better. You both." See, and there's no cozying up to Natalia in public. And he goes, "For one, we weren't cozied up, but look, the way Natalia looks at him more, it's, you know." So he says, "She works for me. She's a business associate of mine. And all we were doing is talking." So Diane says, "I'm just telling you, this is a delicate situation." So Sonny comes back because right before Diane came over, Natalia was saying, "Well, what is Carly to you? What's going on between you two?" So Sonny sat back down and he said, "Listen, back to the question you asked me." Says, "I'm not involved with any of my exes. Now, Carly and we have a complicated history. And Carly and I will always be in each other's lives." Because Natalia says, "Well, I have a policy pretty much of not getting involved with married men or men in other relationships." And that's when he came back, he goes, "Well, I'm not involved. Carly and I will always be in each other's lives." See, which is everybody's gonna end up knowing this alibi is a ruse, because Carly and Jack are not going to be able to stay away from each other, and Sonny's not going to stay away from Natalia. So anyway, Natalia said, "Okay, all right." She goes, "I'm not one to judge because I happen to, be in a complicated." See, now they're starting to bring a backstory in. I'm in a complicated situation. I understand complicated situations. You know, I happen to be, one and the same, like almost like in one now. And she goes, well, let's just leave it alone. Let's just, and I'm thinking, okay, either the person after Blaze's daddy is going to be a problem, because realistically, everybody, she's actually too comfortable with mob boss Sonny. Now, he hasn't talked mob boss around her, but Natalia's not stupid. And Tracy Quartermain has made her feelings known about Sonny being, what's wrong with my camera here? There we go. Sonny being a mob boss. So Natalia knows, but she's very comfortable with it. I think we're going to end up having uh, a rival through Natalia's ex-husband or one of her exes. Okay. From Puerto Rico. Now, mind you, that's where Sonny's island is, but Sonny doesn't live there, so he don't know everything happening in Puerto Rico. So we shall see. I think that they may bring something like that, into play. So Carly leaves Sonny. She goes straight to Brennan, and Brennan, she goes, "Why haven't you answered my call?" He said, "Because I've been glued to this," and it's satellite, kind of like from the drone with what's happening at the compound. And she's looking at it now. She goes, "See, this building here is where Anna and Jason, and we believe Lucky is there as well. And our men, hopefully they could get there in time." He goes, "I could only do so much. I could not put men on the ground, but I could send in some type of diversion, hopefully that would help them." And so she's sitting there. She goes, "Wait, they just blew that up. How do you know Jason and everybody wasn't killed?" He goes, "No, they weren't. They didn't hit the building. They set it to create a diversion with that drone." So he goes, "Hopefully they did." He goes, "I'm sure they're skilled enough that they did," which he was right. And he says, "And if they can make it to the airfield, I have a jet waiting for them." She goes, "But how are they going to know that? Why couldn't you send people?" He goes, "Look, I'm not even supposed to have that jet there. They're going to have to figure it out. And I'm sure they're smart enough to know to go to the airfield," which they were, because look, you want to get out of there, get to the airfield. Planes drop from the sky for you if you go to the airfield, right? So anyway, um, they show a scene. They're on the private jet on their way home, and I said, and Anna was filling in Lucky, and it shows Sidwell. Sidwell, of course, because they didn't kill him. That wasn't their assignment. Him and a couple of his men, they're like, "Where is Holly? Where's Holly?" And so they said, "Well, maybe she's dead." And he's like, "No, Holly is not dead because my diamonds are missing. She's got my diamonds. Get a car. We gotta find her." So then it shows Holly on the jet. She pulls up her purse, and she's got a bunch of big diamonds at the bottom of that purse. That woman is always doing something. And guess what? So you want to know what's getting ready to happen? Holly is going to be bringing Sidwell to Port Charles to get his diamonds. But that would be a big mistake for him, because Sidwell is on the WSB's radar, right? As an international criminal. So if he comes on American soil, that action, and Brennan can catch him, kill him, whatever, that would put some brownie belts or points in Brennan's belt if he can bring down Sidwell. Because look, Holly, he's gonna figure out where Lucky. He's gonna get a background on Lucky, and he's gonna figure out to go to Port Charles, right? Even though Lucky hasn't been there in years, go figure. But he's gonna find out about Anna Devane, where she's at, Jason Morgan, where he's at. So now Lucky on the plane, he said, "Oh, um, Anna tells him, she says, 'Oh, we're not the only ones that were looking for you.'" And he goes, Who else?" He says, "Oh, your mother, Laura and Kevin." And he goes, "Oh, wait a minute. Where are they?" And because he said that Isaiah made it to Port Charles, and it's because of Isaiah they were able to find him. He goes, "I knew Isaiah would make it," right? And so she says, "Laura and Kevin left well before Isaiah ever arrived. So they had no real information on where you are. They were headed to the refugee camp where you were." And he goes, "Okay, that is far away from Sidwell and his whole operation." He says they should be safe there, right? So now let's see how long it take Laura and Kevin to show back up on the scene, because look, they were nowhere into this rescue at all. And I think that is okay. So Brennan gets a phone call. The phone call says because he told Carly, look, they're on the plane, but they're not out of danger yet. They're flying over forbidden airspace. And planes that fly over forbidden airspace can be shot down, brought out of the air. And she goes, oh my God, do they know that? And he says, no, they don't know. It goes, the pilot, the crew knows. And she goes, well, shouldn't they know? He says, why? No, it wouldn't do them any good if they knew. He says, look, my pilot or this pilot has done this airspace before. He's a skilled pilot. He knows how to get around. So Brennan finally gets a call saying that they made it through the forbidden airspace. They were now on US, in US airspace, and they would be in Port Charles, New York tomorrow. So he tells Carly, oh, she's so happy, and she grabs and hugs him. Oh, she's so happy, right? And oh, he's got a nice little hug on her, like, oh, he is, it just, the smile on his face. He did this for his Carly. He does a lot for Carly. And I actually like he and Carly much better than Carly and Sunny. Much, much better. So that's it. That's it, everybody. That is it. We had Elizabeth talking to Felicia, nonsense talk about Lucky when Lucky comes back. What's gonna, Liz is like, I don't know how I'm gonna navigate it, but pretty much it's gonna be, uh, leave the relationship between Aiden and Lucky up to them. Elizabeth's like, I just hope I'm not picking up the pieces. But you know what? If you're gonna end up be picking up the pieces, you're going to look at what happened with Jake and Jason. She finally just let them work it out, and those pieces are just fine, right? Jake is off in college, even though they didn't even have a goodbye party for him like they did Cameron. I didn't get that. So anyway, um, that was it. Now, with Comment Corner, there's 72 comments. I do not have time tonight. I got to schedule the platform for the live tonight. I got a number of things I need to do. So no comment corner tonight. Everybody, comment, read each other's comments. I will be looking through comment corner, all of them. Hopefully the folks that I named at the beginning of this recap, hopefully you guys didn't know because I put my email address in the Tuesdays, the one with the notice. Go back there, get my email address, and send me an email again saying, yes, I'm interested, so I can send you the link to the Zoom so you can be on the panel. All right, everybody, I'm going to see everybody live on Comment Corner, Comment Corner.